Why did it not work the first time? Why did it not work the first time? So, if, well, as I was saying, I have a dream. The real Spectral will be coming out today. I don't know if I'm going to be just doing the Virtuous mission, uh, or, maybe I'll just do my 2 hour stream. But I just have like a 4 minute stream where, I had the menu theme and stuff, and I guess it just was not letting me see what the fuck it was going on, so I don't know. Mr. Tom Brady wanted me to play some Warzone. I said, fuck that. I was like, no. I dropped that shit after 2 matches. Nah, I'm good. Uh, I don't know if anyone's going to tune in. I don't know what everyone's doing. Uh, I don't want to try. I don't want to bug people. Uh, so, yeah. I don't know why the fuck it didn't let me. All right. There's really only one option here. Actually, before we do this, I just wanted to say this game right here is fucking amazing and factually better than 2. 2 fucking sucks. Can we just admit that compared to this game? Can we just admit that? I don't know, Oni might not like me saying that, but hey, what you gonna do? It's just simple as this game is awesome, and you'll see why. Everything, everything, everything in this game is just done better than 2 is. And there's really only one option here, but I'm not going to press it. I'm not going to click I like MVS1. I'm going to say 3 because it gives you extra camo. So, and we're going to do normal. I don't know what kind of play style I'm going to do, but I don't know. We'll go normal.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into 2, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Feel free to ask me anything. Do not be shy. This game, let me tell you something. I'm sorry. This game, even the original PS2 version, this is like a remastered PS3 port. It still looks fucking great. Not up to modern standards, of course, but it still looks fucking appetizing. You know what I mean? It's like a perfectly cooked Burger King nugget, This game, if you haven't played it, why the fuck are you watching me? Go fucking play it. Right now. Right now. Story, the environments, you're gonna see why this game is fucking amazing. And I cannot wait for the remake. I cannot wait.
Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
I cannot wait.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
I might put up a vote where if anyone would like for me to change my profile picture to something else. I think it's kind of silly seeing Bruise as the thumbnail for the very beginning part. Look at the fucking detail on that. So Toyota right there.
Depressurization complete. Checking oxygen supply. 6 minutes to drop off.
I'm gonna be more louder and more vulgar than usual because that's when the real Spectral comes out. They're out doing their thing right now. Look at that fucking title card, just right there, dude. Kojima. I feel like Kojima had the most fun making this.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
Damn, it must be fucking cold then.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate the air bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
People think this actually happened too, and I honestly don't blame them.
Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh shit, dude.
Spread your wings
and fly. God be with you.
There's really not going to be a lot of me exploring this game, but it's mostly just going to be the cutscenes letting the runtime pad out, because I know this game like the back of my head, directed by Kojima. Kojima, despite this game, I'm not going to say it, but
I've got some important news.
he made up for it with this game and the next. Especially this game. This game is fucking awesome. And I'm going to stop talking and probably get myself a drink.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first...
Just letting everyone know that I am a massive history buff, especially now.
Well spoken.
This game is so fucking interesting. Man.
Known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The president demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us. Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet.
Oh yeah, throughout the game you have these hidden R1 thingies and you can look around. It's really fucking cool. And I would say out of every single game in this franchise, this one has by far the most replayability. And I don't want to hear it.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
This is gonna look so fucking good in the remake. Oh my god. It looks so fucking good. It's gonna be so weird seeing this without the color palette, too. I know there's like an option to where you can put the classic one on, but it doesn't even look anywhere near as piss filter, you know? I wouldn't say piss filter, booger filter, snake filter. Dude. No more Raiden up until 9 years later? Until he becomes an actually decent fucking character, and not pathetic.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory.
Oh my god, this game is so fucking good.
From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No. There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it.
How
from
is this a
here.
PS2 game?
Stuck on a
How?
branch.
I know this is a remaster, but holy
Climb
fucking
a tree,
shit.
stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Dude, oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Such a revolution. Now, what you're seeing right here, I just pressed the right stick button, right stick down. This is what the OG launch PS2 version of the game came with, and there was nothing you can do to change it. But in substance, which is pretty much like a deluxe edition, PS2 still, like I would say about a year later, They gave you a fucking free camera. And I don't think there's any point in the game where they'd force you to do this. Maybe in some parts. I would like to do a playthrough where I do this. But man, it gives me... I do really like this camera. Much fucking better, but... Oh, it's coming back. And the CQC in this game, well... Hey! Hey! I thought you were asleep. No, oh my god. And you hold L1 and you can do this. And you see that camo index. The more that shit goes up, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you watch me while you're working. Or are you at home? I don't know. But let's just get this backpack real quick. We're doing normal. I like MGS3. And I was going to do like a Rambo playstyle, but I'm like, nah, I'll do the by whatever means necessary playthrough. Again, I know this game like the back of my head. Maybe not so with the bosses, but this should be a fairly quick, like, honestly, I could probably do this in, like, best case scenario 2 parts, but I doubt it.
I see you've
Maybe
retrieved
3.
your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's
Yeah,
necessary
any
to
percent.
take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack.
Spoiler alert, the non-lethal stuff is back in this game for the people that's watching the VOD.
And press the enter button. For other equipped items,
So I will be doing non-lethal bosses, but that's about it.
Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. Affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and...
Tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches zero,
also, this is a completely new game, new save, no new game plus.
The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this, anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare.
Unlike the last few times, George is not streaming Metal Gear Solid 3 at the same time.
Anyone see you. You can't
And
let the enemy know you're there.
I don't know if any of you guys got a notification, but I did stream this for about 4 minutes, but it wouldn't let me, for whatever fucking reason, see my own stream. And I was assuming it was just not connecting or bugged, but it had the menu and stuff, me showing off the menu and stuff, and then I figured out, and yeah, I was not happy. So, if you go to the very beginning, you can tell how pissed I am. And the bitches are gone, so Spectral will be released and released onto the stream, and maybe for the next 2 hours I'll be saying whatever I want, finally, freely.
That's the one, but be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
Huh?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak. as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
The boss is?
She also
Should I
helped me
just
plan
end
this
it?
mission. She and I were at SAS together.
I don't know if he's fucking with me, but
How many years is it?
maybe they changed their mind. I don't know. I know this is an important scene, but I might have to bounce. I don't even know if I can let this scene
Let me
finish.
hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit.
I mean, I
Politics
literally
doesn't
just
mean you
started
think
this stream
somehow.
too, like
And
20
politics
minutes
are a living
ago.
thing. They
Might have to
change
make a
along with times.
1.5 or some
Yesterday's
shit.
good might be
I mean,
tomorrow's
I could stream this later and make 1.5,
It had nothing to
but
do with
man,
me. I already
bummer.
told you, Jack. I was on a top
I
secret
cannot
mission.
tell if they're
A
fucking with
soldier
me.
has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow